Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's 2 on Thursday stamping with Suzie Q. Oh my goodness, today is April 17th. Yep, 17th. I am recording this on Monday since I will be taking a mini vacation down to Florida this week, and I wanted you to have something for Thursday night. Oh, girls, it is almost time to say goodbye to this catalog. I know this wasn't a lot of our favorite catalogs, just with the way it was set up, but it did have some beautiful products in it. Some of those products will be carrying over to our new catalog that becomes available on May 5th. So we're excited about that. So I can't show you the inside, but you can see the outside. If you placed orders with me in the last year, you should get one of these in the mail this month. I have sent those out to you all through Stampin' Up. So my name is Sue Sanders, and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator at Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. Tonight we're going to make a couple of fun cards, and we are using the beautiful Butterfly stamp set. So here's one card that we're making, and we are using this stamp set. And then on our second card, we're going to be also using the die set. So let's just jump right in. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe to my channel. That always helps, and it will boost my analyticals, I guess. So anywho, that's that. I hope you all have been having a great week so far. I will be posting some pictures as we travel to Florida this week. So this is the card that we're going to start with. And I am using the DSP, the Perennial Lavender. Guess what, ladies? I can tell you that one is staying in. I am so happy because I love this paper. And I know a lot of you also love this. So I'm starting with a gorgeous grape card face. And that is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just give that a good burnish with your bone folder. All right. Now, our layers are going to be a DSP layer, and that measures 4 by 5 1/4. Then we have a second layer, and this is just the back side of the DSP that I'm using. So as you can see, I'm just using one design, and I'm using both sides. And this piece is 4.5 long by 2 3/4 wide. I have another piece of gorgeous grape, and this measures 4 inches by 2 1/4 inches. And then I have another piece of that DSP paper, and this one measures 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. Then we're going to use our 1.5 inch circle punch, or whatever object you want to use for your greeting. It could be another square, it could be a label. So however you want to do it, but I'm using a circle punch tonight. Then I just have a piece of the scrap that is 1/2 inch wide, and that will go down on our inside of our card. This is the scrap I'm going to be stamping on and then punching. All right, let's get started. We're going to go ahead and lay our piece down on the inside because there's nothing much to that. So you all comment and let me know what you think of tonight's cards. Just because I'm not live doesn't mean I don't want to see your comments. So tell me about your week. Tell me what you've been doing. Tell me your plans for the upcoming weekend. It is Easter. I will be driving back home on Sunday and stopping in Tennessee to see my sister and my nephew and his wife and my great-nephew Miles. So I'm excited about that. He's going to be a year old May 5th, and I haven't seen him yet. All right, that's the inside of our card. Now, we do have a little bit of stamping to do, and I'm going to use some Versamark to stamp with. We'll get a piece of scratch paper here. And because I will be stamping off on my cardstock. Get some of this stuff out of the camera view. I am working so hard at getting all of my technical issues resolved. All right, I am going to take my Versamark, and we're going to just stamp this butterfly all over this sheet of Gorgeous Grape. Didn't press down hard enough on that first one. Let's flip this over and we'll start again. We'll start by stamping a full one. You can kind of see some of them don't show and some of them are off the paper, and that's okay. You just want to kind of have it kind of decorated on that front side. It gives it some dimension. Okay, I'm going to come in now with the little dots that are in that stamp set. And we're just going to kind of fill in some of these open spots here. Not a whole lot, just a few. Because like I said, a lot of it's going to be covered up anyway. But that's okay. We want it just to have enough on there to give us that decoration. Okay, set that aside. So now that we have that done, let's go ahead and stamp, and I'm going to stamp in Gorgeous Grape, and I'm just stamping the little hello that is with this stamp set. So if you are new to stamping, this is available until the end of April, and you can do so many things with this one stamp set and die. So here's my Gorgeous Grape, and I'm just going to turn this piece of scrap paper around, and I'm going to stamp hello right here where it's that crumb cake color. I'm going to take my 1.5 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to punch that greeting out of that, like so. And to give this some color, all I did was roll it along the edge of my stamp pad, my ink pad. And you can do this or you can leave it plain. I just gave it a little bit of a border of that Gorgeous Grape ink. So there you can kind of see where that Gorgeous Grape is. I'm going to just do a little bit more rolling right there. There we go. All right. So that is all the stamping we're going to do. Now let's put this card together. It's very simple, very easy. No time at all. You could make several of these at one time using so many of the beautiful DSP papers that you have in your stash. Ladies, get those scraps out and start using that paper up. No reason to hoard it. Every year Stampin' Up! Comes out with beautiful papers, and I am guilty of it as much as anyone, of just having a hoard of paper that I use it 1 or 2 times, and then I think, oh, I'll never be able to get this again, so I must not use it. All right, so there's our first layer. Now we're going to come in with our second layer here, and we're going to lay this one down with the green side up. There are so many beautiful colors in this package of paper. Okay, and we're going to lay that down just about there. So not a whole lot of your first layer will show, but there will be some showing. We're going to now take our Gorgeous Grape layer, and we're going to stick it down. Oh, there's my bird clock. I don't think nobody likes that bird clock but me, and I like it. I like to hear the chirping birds. Sometimes on the dark color cardstock, Oops, it's just, it wants to pull that paper up, so you might have to change the direction with your tape runner. Okay, so now that I've got that, make sure that your butterflies are kind of going up, and kind of place it where it has a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom showing of that green layer. And now there's my chime clock. Sorry, but I like my clocks. And then we're going to lay down our other DSP paper layer. And we're going to lay it right about there. So my daughter, Dorothy, my assistant, over the weekend decided that she was tired of hearing the chime clock play music, or the music that it was playing, and so she changed it to Christmas music. And I was over here this weekend in the studio working away, and oh my gosh, all of a sudden I heard this Christmas music, and I thought, where in the world is that coming from? Why do we have Christmas music playing? All right, I am going to pop up my little hello greeting with some dimensionals, and I'm putting 3 of them on the back of it just to make sure that it doesn't sag on us. Tear off those sticky backings. I'm trying to get into a habit of throwing them away right away so that they don't become a nuisance around the house. Now you're just going to lay that down right over so that you can still see. So that's just kind of in the corner there. I've got some of these beautiful gems. They're the two-tone sparkle gems. I believe they were in the mini catalog, I think. But because they kind of have purples and the teal used to them, I decided to use these today. So we're going to put one up here in the corner. And they kind of shine and they take on the color that the paper is. So I think that's really pretty. We're going to take a small one and put it down here on our greeting. And we'll take another small one and put it down here on the purple layer. The gorgeous gray. All right. So there's the outside. See how simple and fast that was? Tip to you. If you want to make several cards at a time, cut out all of your paper and make yourself little kits. I know my classes that I have, I usually always have all of the paper cut, scored, everything that they need to complete their card in a little envelope. And then it doesn't take no time at all to put the cards together. We're just going to lay this on the inside. And it's a little crooked. We're going to fix that. I really think I need to get bifocals, but I just cannot bring myself to do that. So a little trick. If you stick down your paper using the Stampin' Seal Plus, don't rip it off entirely. Do it in little sections. And then kind of huff on it. And that will release that adhesive. So many times I see people using their adhesive and they run a full strip all around. You don't necessarily need to do that, ladies. You can do it in little sections. Then if you do need to prick it up and relay it down, reposition it, it's not as difficult. Okay? So there we have our first card. Isn't that cute? I think that really turned out cute. And it can be made into anything. You could put just a note, happy birthday, thinking of you, a thank you card. All right, so there is our first card. Remember, if you leave a comment in the chat box dealing with the cards tonight, you will be entered in the drawing to win cards that I made tonight. Just cleaning off my stamps here. I will post the winner of last week's cards before I leave town. I will post that out on my Facebook page, possibly even the YouTube page, because I normally bring those, and I forgot them. Let me go get them real quick and show you what they were from last week, and then we will draw someone from the comments, and somebody will win these 2 cards. So I did using the in colors that will be in until next year. You can get a little note hand signed for me. So these were the cards that we made last week. This is a beachy card, so it's using the Notes and Totes bundle. And so there's that card, and then there's this one here that was a Starburst Scrappy card. Okay, so I will announce the winner of these 2 cards before I leave town. So watch for the post that will be in. All right, before we get on to the next card, I was playing around this weekend, and I wanted to try the inlaid card, where you use both the negative and the positive of a die cut. So this was a die cut, and it's from Lovely You or Forever Love, something like that. I can't remember. But it's a die cut, and it's an oval, and then it has these open flowers. Well, what I did was I saved all those pieces from that die cut and glued them back in to the card, and then I colored it. So I thought that looked really cool, and this is a thank you card that I haven't gotten the inside done yet. I also wanted to try it with some glitter paper, and this is discontinued. No, it's still in the catalog until the end of April. So I did this one in black, and I glued all of the little petals and leaves back into the card. Then I did another die cut out of the Pretty Peacock, and I layered that on top of that black, and it just really makes it pop. So this is an Easter card that I'm going to send to a couple of friends. I haven't done the inside yet. Better get busy, right? Easter is only a week away. All right, our second card is using the beautiful bokeh paper, and it's a fold over flap. That's going to be our embellishments. So this is our card, and then Enjoy Your Day. This Enjoy Your Day is from a retired stamp, but I like the way it just had Happy Birthday, and I embossed that. This is done with Daffodil Delight as our card base, and that is just a regular card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then we have a layer of our Secret Sea, which is a new in color. So it's not as dark as black, but it is a dark bluish color. So we have that layer. Then I have a 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of that bokeh paper. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold over the right-hand corner. So we're going to do that. This is just a piece of scrap that I had that we're going to stamp our butterfly on and die cut that. We are going to put this strip down here. This is Calypso Coral, but it goes on the back. It's from the back side of this. So we're just going to lay this down on the inside. We want that little bit of fresh freesia to show. So I'm just, and I find it sometimes easier to have overhang on my paper when I'm putting it down on the inside, and then I just trim it off. That way I don't have to worry about if I cut it just a little bit short. So that's going to be the inside. We'll go ahead and stamp Enjoy Your Day. And that I did in the Secret C. Probably should have stamped before I laid my piece of paper down, but we're going to hope for the best, right? So I'm just going to put this down. It's got a little bit of the little one of those dimensional backs. Enjoy your day. So there is our inside. Let's go ahead and stamp our butterfly. And we're going to stamp the butterfly on, let's see, that's stamping right in around here somewhere. And we'll die cut him. And I stamped him as well in that Secret C. I'm going to just stamp him right here so that some of that blue and pink show. Mostly blue, but that's okay. All right. So we're done with that coloring. Let me clean those stamps off camera here so that I don't put my elbows in them. I enjoy so much spending this time with you all. And when I can't be there live, I just feel like I'm talking to myself, which I guess I am, because I am alone in the house today, or in the studio. All right, give me 1 second, and I am going to go grab yourself a drink, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go die cut this at my die cut station. So sing to yourselves. You don't want to hear me sing. It is so pretty out. I have to tell you, girls, my son came down yesterday. He rode his Harley down, and his significant other, who I just absolutely adore, Stephanie, she drove the car because he wanted to cut down trees for us. He loves climbing the trees and using his big boy toys, the chainsaw. However, he didn't get, well, he got one cedar tree all the way down, but he was cutting up the logs, and he decided to do a high five with that chainsaw. So he got a real good gash in his hand right here, and a little one, 2 little ones, but the big one right here. Oh my gosh, it bled forever. So we took care of that, bandaged it up, and he had to finish the job. And I said, you don't need to worry about it. We'll get it later. He goes, nope, got to finish it. And well, by golly, by the time he was done finishing that tree, that bandage that we put on was just, looked terrible. So we got it cleaned up again, and he took a shower. And so, but anyway. So now what you're going to do to make this corner fold is you're going to take the right-hand corner and kind of put your finger in where that point is. And it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? You just want to make it kind of like a point, and then bring your finger down. Then you can go back with your, whoops, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want that. You can bring your foam folder in then and give that a good crease. Okay. All right. So that's a little bit longer than what my original was, but that's okay. Now for this, we are going to kind of place this paper up here so that you kind of know where you're going to stamp your greeting. Now, I made this a birthday card, but you could certainly make it any kind of card that you wanted to. So I'm going to use the Versamark, if I can remember where I placed it here on my desk. It's here somewhere. There it is. And we're going to emboss in white. So I kind of know where I need to place my stamp at. But I'm going to first take my embossing bag. This has got something in it, cornstarch or whatever, but it doesn't, it takes away that static with that embossing powder. Now they do have, Stampin' Up! Does have different embossing powder than what I have, but I have a drawer full of embossing powder, and so therefore I'm going to use what I've got, and I'm not going to buy brand new embossing powder. So here I'm going to stamp in my birthmark. Happy birthday. I'm going to lay that back down just as another reference here so that I kind of know where I need to stay in. And we're going to stamp the happy birthday in Versamark right about there. We're going to take our embossing powder and drop everything on the glass mat. Make lots of noise, right? Oh, I didn't tell you all. So as I was cleaning up my son's wound yesterday, I had some of that medical tape that you can tear. It's like a plastic type tape. Oh my goodness, girls, let me tell you. Oops, I just spilt my embossing powder. What a mess. Anyway, until I could get my fingers, because I was holding the gapping wound with my left hand, and then trying to get the paints down with my right hand. So I thought I'd be this smart person, and I would put that edge of that tape on my lip. I'm just going to clean this up, girls. And yeah, I could have put it back into the container, but the way my desk sits, it would have gotten caught. So we're just wiping it off. Anyway, I took that tape off of my lip, and oh my word, that tape took the skin right off of my bottom lip. So it really does hurt. And it's kind of puffy. So in the future, I will know, do not put that tape on your lips because it will hurt when you take it off. All right, I am going to emboss this real quick. It's going to get loud. Come away from the microphone. I'm just heating up my heat gun, and I'm embossing. Don't usually do this on camera because it is loud, but you can see it changing from the powder to the shiny. All right, so we've got that done. Now we're going to just kind of wipe off that excess powdery stuff. And we're going to lay this one down. So again, a very simple card that you can make into something magnificent, especially with the double-sided designer paper that Stampin' Up! Offers. So we're going to lay this mat down here like so. And we're going to take our other piece that we folded over, and we're going to lay it down. And because the designer paper has so many different colors in it for this beautiful bokeh, you all know what the bokeh means. It's because it's those white lighter dots that's in the paper. Got a little off my edge there. Now, come on, quit your being so persnickety here. When you do that, when you've got that excess, stick them, just kind of roll it back over on itself so that it stays. And I'm going to put just a tad of glue up here in this corner because I didn't get the tape up there real good. sure I don't have any excess anywhere else. And we're going to lay this down just like so. So easy and simple. All right, we're going to take and fold our flap up and just tack it down just a bit so that it doesn't keep moving, okay? All right. I laid my butterfly. There it is. And because the cost of postage has gone up to so much, I'm really trying not to use a whole lot of dimensionals like in the middle of my cards and all. So I am just going to attach my butterfly flat. Now you are welcome to put your butterfly however you want. If you want it to be popped up on dimensionals, feel free. I took my black Stampin' Right marker and I took the bullet tip of it and I'm just making some lines like that butterfly is flying. Okay, so it just kind of gives it that floating feeling. That's done. I want to take some of my butterfly embellishments now because they are flat, and we'll get them as soon as I figure out where there they are. They were hiding. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and we're going to put one of these butterflies, one of the larger ones, up here. It's sticking to my fingernail. Come on, flip yourself over here. We're going to put one there. We're going to put a tiny one up here. Sometimes they don't go in the direction that you want them to, but that's okay. And then I'm going to put another big one down here. I'm also going to take my Wink of Stella pen. Oh, there you are. And because this is a dark color, when I take this to flip it or to flick it, it should show up pretty good. Come on, flick, flick, flick. Get some on your butterfly. Sometimes you have to get real close to flick so that it actually hits your paper. Sometimes you need to get it to flowing again. I get it to flowing, and sometimes it flows too much. Come on. Why is it not flicking? Oh, shoot. That's what I was afraid of. Oh, well. I did it on scratch paper, so. Because I had it flowing, it brought out a great big glop of it. Okay, so that's what that finished card looks like. Bring in our other one. Oop, we are not done with this one yet. Y'all didn't remind me. I still had to put my inside in, didn't I? That's what happens when I get squirreled. And I get concentrating on one thing. All right. I'm so excited about these cards because they are simple, but yet you can make them into wow factors. Okay. All right. So there are our two cards for tonight. You ladies, let me know which one is your favorite, number 1 or number 2. They might both be your favorites, and that's okay. I enjoy reading the comments, so please leave comments. Subscribe to my video down below the video. I will have the measurements in the description below so that you will know what the dimensions are for cutting it. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else. Thank you all for spending this little bit of time with me this evening. I appreciate it. You all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Bye.